Hey, what's up, everyone? Mike here, and tonight is the P&L report. I guess we can fit a Q in there. I don't know where we're going to put it, but uh, me and George are here, of course. We're going to answer questions, hang out, do an interactive live hangout, and we have Justin Quay here, who is a moderator in the Sellers Helping Sellers group. He sells clothing on eBay, and I'm just happy to have him here. So, welcome, Justin. Hello,
Thanks for having
George.
me.
Howdy, howdy.
If you guys have any questions, make sure you leave them in the chat, and yeah. So how have you two been doing?
Not too bad, man. Like I was saying earlier, my eBay sales are starting to pick up a little bit. I've had a pretty consistent last few days ever since the 31st. I don't know what the deal was. Last month, it was like I was non-existent on eBay. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But it's looking up right now. Hopefully that continues.
Did someone say non-existent on eBay?
Yeah.
And that was my second best month last month. So,
That's
Nice.
awesome. How long have you been selling on eBay, Justin?
2.5 years.
Oh, okay.
Doing,
Shit,
I
I
mean,
thought
I
it was
was
longer than that.
2.5 years for clothing. Prior to that, I did things here and there. I just sell random things, but seriously, actually putting a lot of commitment into it, 2.5 years.
Okay. Yeah, that's back when eBay used to be the garage sale and you could sell anything.
Right.
You could list like the dumbest thing and people would buy it. Like, here's a toaster side cover. People would bid on it.
Yeah. I don't do auctions anymore. I just do buy it now.
Yeah, actually, so I'm trying to think of how long ago this was. I just joined Facebook for reselling, like at the beginning of the year. Like I've had Facebook for a long time, obviously, but I never actually interacted for reselling on there. And in January, people kept like asking me to join, so I did. And I think I was in the sellers helping the old one, like from the beginning. And you would always post your sales update in there. And my eBay was like doing terrible at the beginning of the year. And you always post a sales update with like screenshots of sales and sales and sales. And I'm like, how the hell does this guy do this? I actually think I commented on your sales update before, like, what are you selling and how is this even possible? And you're just like, I don't know, I just buy this stuff and it sells. So,
Yeah.
like,
I have.
when you're looking for clothing, obviously, do you just stick to certain brand names? Like, is it how things look? Like, what are you looking for? Because I'm the worst at selling clothing. George can vouch that I'm like the worst eBayer anymore. So,
I don't know. It's just a learning curve. When I first started, I learned from Autumn. I found her videos on YouTube, and I joined her group, and I noticed a lot of people were doing clothing, so I just printed off a list of brands and went to my Goodwill and Salvation Army and went through the racks and found what I could find, and then every brand I came across that I didn't know, I would look it up in the store, and it would take me forever to go through, but now I can zip through a store in like an hour.
that's awesome. And how much would you say you source each month, like cost wise?
Oh God, I don't really keep track. I mean, I usually go every day, and I spend anywhere between 25 and 100 plus.
Every day?
Yeah,
Holy shit! I don't even source every day, and I source online. I
it's
think
like an
someone likes
addiction.
thrifting.
It's an addiction.
Yeah, but I think like you obviously enjoy it, right? So,
I the actual shopping is my favorite part because it's like a treasure hunt.
and you're married, right?
Yep, married, 2 kids,
Does
both
your wife
businessmen.
like to thrift or no?
No, she hates shopping.
Why every person that thrifts, I ask if like their girlfriend or wife likes to go, and like they hate it. I'm like, it's because you're going to spend money and they don't like that.
Yeah, I always go by myself. On the way home from work, I'll stop for about an hour.
Gotcha.
But I get out of work pretty early. I leave the office about 1:30. So
Everyone that's hanging out and watching, how have your sales been over the last month or so? eBay or Amazon? I just want to know how everyone's doing. And George, have you done any sourcing this month at all? I know it just started.
Sure, I've done, well, let's see. Maybe not.
When was the
Other
last
than
time you went? I guess.
today, I bought a pair of boots, and I guess that's all I've done technically this month. I do have some stuff sitting here that I'm going to be getting ready after I get this FBA shipment out. And it's all a bunch of stuff I've had sitting here and accumulating over the past I think I was looking it up, and the actual last shipment I sent in was 3 months ago. So I'm finally getting everything ready that I've accumulated and out the door, hopefully by tomorrow. And yeah, and then I'll hit eBay again.
Yeah, I try not to like let shipments break apart past 2 weeks. Like if it starts going past 2 weeks, then I'm like, this isn't good. I'm going on 2 weeks now, I think. Maybe it's over two. I think it's 2 weeks now. But the shipment I'm going to be sending in is just absolutely massive, and it's probably going to take me the entirety of tomorrow to finish it. Like label everything, clean everything, make sure everything's good to go. Um, and it just keeps getting bigger. Like thought I was done, and I kept sourcing and sourcing, and I just keep getting more mail. So I'm like, I just want to add everything in before I send it. But there's going to come a point where I have to like, it's cut off now, and that's going. The rest of the stuff can wait.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sure there's not like a max unit you can send in, like unless it's like thousands. But it's getting to the point where it's going to be like a lot of packages. I think I'm going to be at. Originally, I thought it was going to be 300 units. Last I checked, it's going to be over 360. And I did a quick calculation of the resale value through like Excel sheet, and looking at around maybe over 6,000 at this point. So
It's a nice big shipment.
Nice.
yeah, and that's my best by far. Like my last shipment was maybe $1,000 or something. So I just been sourcing like crazy, and all that's online. People keep asking me about it and stuff. It's almost all online. Like I don't really have time to run around locally much, and I don't know what it is. You can't like I like to sell games, so you cannot find good deals on video games near me. Like I get better deals from viewers. Like I've had viewers email me like, "Hey, do you want this for this price?" That'll be much better than what I can find locally. People want retail value for video games locally. I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah.
All right, so I have 2 questions here. I was using newspaper for void fill and FBA shipping, but my supply dried up. I know you could use something else. I tried to use help pages and Seller Central. I can't find it. What else can you use? Okay, so there are like 3 acceptable void fills, I believe, for FBA. Single large sheets of paper, so newspaper, brown paper, obviously not like printer paper. They want, so they're not sitting there picking them out one by one. Bubble wrap is fine, and then I believe bubble pouches, the large ones, are fine. You cannot use packing peanuts. No packing peanuts, no beads, none of that stuff. And then the second question is, Justin, do you sell anything other than clothes?
Not really. I 99% clothing and shoes. Usually, if I have time when I'm thrifting, I'll go through the other aisles and see if I can find anything worth picking up. Like this past week, I found a Zumba complete, like brand new Zumba DVD set with the workout gear and stuff. So I grabbed that, and I'll usually check the mugs, see if I can find anything from Starbucks or something like that, but mainly just clothes.
Gotcha.
Cool.
How many units do you keep listed at a time? Because my issue with eBay is always I get caught up in everything else, and I'm not able to make more listings than I'm selling, or stay caught up on listing.
Right. I mean, right now I have 806 active listings. It's mainly 30-day listings, and then I have usually about 100 to 150 7-day listings going.
And that's to try and get on the newly ended or newly listed sector, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I'll typically list something for 2 weeks, and if it doesn't sell, I'll throw it up for 30 days. So I just keep things moving like that, and that's how I run it.
Cool. And if you guys have anything you want to show or anything like that, we can do that too. I don't mind. It's not required, but I don't mind you guys showing stuff off or whatever. Checking to make sure there's no questions. So, no FBA, 800 listings. How the hell? I don't get how people can get to 800 listings. Last Christmas was the most listings I've ever had, and it was 660, and it like hurt my brain to get that many listings up. Do you just do like a few per day, or?
Yeah, I try to. I mean, my kids, we have them trained to go to bed at like 7 o'clock, so I'll usually try to get things listed after that, and leave a little time at the end of the night to just relax, watch some TV. But I try to sell as much as I can. Make
I
as much.
totally thought you were gonna say I have them trained to list. I
Right.
swear, I was like that is awesome, and you're doing it right.
No, my daughter, my oldest daughter's 4. She knows. She'll say, "Are you working or doing eBay?" And I said, "Well, eBay is work for me, but because I sometimes work from home for my actual full-time job." So, and now that I started doing YouTube videos, she keeps asking me if I'm going to do a video and if she needs to be quiet.
Oh, and how do you
Sounds
like
like you're
doing
doing it right.
videos?
What's that?
How have you liked doing videos? Because it
It's
seems like everyone that sells decides to make videos, and then like you were kind of late on the scene, so I was happy to see that you're
Yeah,
making videos.
yeah. I mean, it's different. It's weird talking to myself when I'm doing like a haul video or a sales update, but
Yeah.
hopefully they'll get better as they go.
Yeah, I noticed that like this happens a lot with newer YouTubers, and I'm not like knocking anyone, I don't really care. But a lot of them like don't show their face, like they like talk behind the camera.
Right.
And is that intentional, or is it just like you think it's easier, or
Well,
I'm
right
just
now,
curious.
yeah. Right now, just starting, it's easier, but maybe if I continue to do it, I'll get a setup where maybe I'll have someone else film it while I do it, or I'll have a tripod set up or something like that. But right now, it's just easy.
Well, just so you know, like a good option for you, if you're doing clothing, you could show it to the camera for your computer. You could actually do a live hangout on your channel. It'll
Right.
record, and you can just do your haul in front of the camera.
And maybe I'll have to
Yeah.
try that.
And that'll help. I know like it's not the best quality recording, but it definitely helps if you need like automated recording.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone wants to see this face though.
If they want to see my face and my white boy fro, you're all right.
All right.
So someone asked about how you store your inventory.
Usually after I list like a shirt or something like that, I fold it up and put it in a clear poly bag, and then I have tubs kind of like what George has behind him. I have about 30 of them in my garage on shelving units, and then I'll put them in there. And then I just started doing shoes, so I'm trying to get. That's just a big mess. I haven't figured out the best way to organize those yet, but I have tubs that are numbered, and then in my Excel spreadsheet where I keep all my listings, I have the tub number for each item. So when it sells, I know how to find it.
That's cool. And do you ever bag clothing ahead? I don't know if you said that. I was trying
Yeah,
to
he
listen
said
about
he
reading.
puts it in a poly bag.
I mean, I'll come home from thrifting and I have this. I'll keep the stuff in the bag it came in, and then when I photograph it, I'll put it back in the bag, and then once I list it, then I fold it, put it in a clear poly bag, and toss it in one of the tubs.
Oh, sorry to make you repeat yourself. I missed it. I'm the
Oh
worst
no,
at
no,
reading
you're
and
fine.
listening.
You're fine.
But I'm surprised so many people do that, and not. I get that it's convenient, but I feel like if something doesn't sell, it's like a waste of supplies. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Everything sells eventually.
Fair enough. I'm gonna shout out a few people here real quick, and then we can get to the rest of the questions. What's up, Dakota, Adriana, William, Andrew, Joe, Legat? I don't know if I've seen you around. What's up? Items and auctions. Pete, I know you're in here. I've seen you. Mike, Cherry, how you guys doing tonight? Hope you're all doing well. Christine, if I miss you, I'm sorry. Lori. Hope all of you are having a good Sunday night. And thanks for joining so late, since apparently everyone's been complaining to me about it. Caesar. Chad said that we do the latest show on the reselling community. I'm like, it's only 11. On the West Coast, it's still early. It's not that big of a deal.
This is late for me.
Well, you'll be all right.
I get up at
I mean,
5
you just have a full-time job, kids, thrifting to do.
Yeah, William Porter says a full-time job, YouTube, and 800 listings on eBay. That's pretty boss.
and 2 kids
Yeah, I was gonna say, not to mention being a father to 2
and a wife.
and a husband.
No, that's pretty solid.
So,
And I'm over here like, I just resell and I'm still behind.
that's the one thing I like about this is I don't have to rely on this income. I do it for extra money. We can take vacations, and then my wife's going to grad school pretty soon, so that's going to cost a ton of money. So
But I think it's good that, I guess this can become an issue. Like if you go full-time and it is your income, it adds like a stress level there.
Yeah, I
And
don't
it
want
could
that.
almost make something that you truly enjoy not so enjoyable, you know?
Right.
Like right now you enjoy it, but if all of a sudden you had to find clothing like every day and you couldn't for whatever reason, it becomes more stressful than it is an enjoyment.
Right.
And a lot of people do really enjoy picking. That's like when we talked about last Wednesday. People are asked the question, would you guys be doing this if there was no money to be made in it, or something along those lines? And Chad and all them like, yeah, we love picking this, that, and other. And I'm like, probably not. It's not that like I don't like picking, but it's not. That's not the excitement to me. I'm more so like making the profit and the videos and all that over specifically picking for video games or whatever. And different people have like different levels of enjoyment there. So the question here is or they asked if you do FBA. The answer is no. You already talked about that.
No, I don't.
How would you ship DS games if you were merchant fulfilled and they didn't have a case? I can show you real quick. I'll be right back.
In the meantime, I'll show you these cool Doc Martens I got the other day. And when I say cool, I mean ugly as sin. I think I already showed these to Justin, but
Yeah, so
check those out. Some cool nubs in a wingtip form. They're ugly as hell.
that's
And
what sells.
They should sell well.
What in the hell are those?
Some type of shoe.
They look hideous.
Yeah, they are. They look terrible.
They look like some like I don't even know steampunk angry dress shoes.
Somebody will love them.
All right, so this is how I ship DS games. I don't think I have a DS game, but all right, I have these little bags. These are on my supply list. They're very cheap. The DS game goes in this bag, then it goes in this poly mailer, and then to put the label on, because my labels are bigger than this poly mailer, it goes on sideways. The tracking gets folded behind so they can scan it, and that's it. Pretty simple. So, yep.
Nice.
George, tell me a story. Because you're not dropping in and out today.
No, I'm not. How about instead of a story, I'll show you these Sperry's. What would you think Sperry's look like, Sperry topsiders? They're boat shoes, right? Just slip on casual loafers. These are pink Sperry wedges.
Whoa. You said they're
That's
boat
interesting.
shoes?
You what?
You said they're boat shoes?
No, like that's what Sperry's typically are. They're just like slip-on loafers, like boat shoes.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, okay.
I have a
Yeah,
pair like
these-
that.
this is a classic pair of Sperry's, right?
Right.
Oh, yeah, like the shoes I like.
And but this is like a female dress version.
That's
for
hilarious.
women's.
Did you try them on?
No, maybe if they had fit. They're not my size.
Hey, what's up, Nicole? Thanks for joining. B, you're in here, apparently. Someone said hi, but I don't see you, so hi. You show up to every show, so thanks. And hopefully you got that thing sorted out with the price tag. Hopefully they'll revise your feedback. That really sucks. Justin, someone said, do you ever have any help? Does your wife help at all or not at all?
No, it's just me. She likes to hear about the sales, but that's about her extent.
How's the vacation fund?
Right. That's her main question: is how much money do you have in PayPal right now?
That's not even
That's
put like
funny.
nicely. Like, how are your sales doing, honey? How much money's in PayPal?
And more importantly, how much of it can I spend?
So a question here. How much do you guys spend on your lighting system? I currently use a lighting tent, which would be like a lighting box, and for small items, but I want to get a bigger setup, basically. And it's kind of funny because I know all three of us have completely different lighting systems, actually. I've seen a picture of Justin's and George's, so.
Yeah. I'll go first, I guess. Mine is pretty simple. You can probably find a picture of mine somewhere around. I know on my Facebook page, Flipping Footwear, I do have a photo on there of what my actual lighting setup looks like. And mine is really simple. It's just clamp lamps that are attached to a PVC stand. And I think each of those clamp lamps cost $8 each, and there's 3 of them, plus the bulbs that go on them. And the PVC was $2, I want to say, for a 10-foot pole. And then the connections, which is maybe another $4. So really inexpensive. It's DIY. The box itself, I cut up and put some white paper around it to diffuse the light, and that's it. So real cheap.
And Justin, I seen yours is set up on like a table, right?
Yeah, I have a 40 by 60 white foam board I put on my dining room table, and then I used to have these umbrella lights that I bought, and I used at my old house before I moved, but now I just take the bulbs from that kit and I put them in my chandelier, and then I have them hanging above the white foam board, and I put the clothes on the board and then take pictures over that. So.
Awesome, and I've seen both of your pictures look really good, so I'm always like angry that I spent so much money on my setup back in the day. But I have, like, you guys can see it, the full lighting kit, and I have a continuous white backdrop, although it's cut into pieces there because of the way I set up the table. And to be honest, even this lighting kit is not that expensive. I think I paid $130 for it. I've had it for 4 years, so it's not like almost 4 years maybe. I had it since I started YouTube, so that's how old it is, and it runs great. And I still have the same bulbs in it, so I haven't had to buy bulbs or anything. I think in general the most important thing about lighting for photos on eBay is you want to make sure the light you have is diffused so it doesn't glare at all, and make sure that it's lit evenly so the background looks nice and white. Like, I see a lot of people have a very gray background, and it just doesn't look very good.
Yeah, I have that problem with some clothes, but anything I have to tweak, I put in Adobe Lightroom and just adjust the balancers through there.
Fancy. I don't even know what Adobe Lightroom is. Is that just like an editor?
Yeah, it's kind of like Photoshop.
Oh, okay. I have Windows. I don't even know anymore because there's so many Windows. I have Windows 8, I'm gonna say, and they have automated like presets for editing photos. And one of them, for whatever reason, if my light is off, it fixes it perfectly. So I just click the preset and it automatically does it.
Yeah, I used to use that, and for the most part it was right on, but there was times when it was completely off for me.
Okay, so question, how do you decide when to merchant fulfill or send to FBA? Right now, I'm not merchant fulfilling anything. George, you want to go first?
Well, there was something I was talking to you about yesterday. I was asking you about these guitars that I've picked up a few times, and those are the like Rock Band.
Yeah, and I could show you what I was talking about too, but you can finish.
Well, I was sitting there thinking, man, I don't really want to send those in because there was a lot of competition. Like there was something like 20 sellers, 50 sellers, I don't remember, but it was a lot of sellers, and I'm just thinking the price is just going to keep going down, keep going down. So I asked Mike. I said, "Hey, man, do you send these in to be fulfilled, or do you merchant fulfill them?" And he said he sends them in if they're over $50, but he's only ever sold complete in box, which that's not what I have. So, anyways, I decided just to merchant fulfill those, and I'll send them my own. That way, I'm not getting charged for oversized fees or anything like that, because they are an oversized item. So what you got there, Mike?
Well, this is the guitar I have that's getting sent in. That's what I was showing you. It's like,
oh, cool.
It's like 100% complete. It has the game. It's hard to see in here, but it has the game. Everything's real nice. It's clean. Like, whoever used it only a few times. So, like, if I have something like that, it'll get sent in. If I have just like a guitar that's not in perfect condition and it's not worth a lot, then it's not really worth your time to send them, because it is oversized. It's not easy to ship. Kind of a pain in the ass. So make sure it's worth it. For me, I send basically everything to FBA that can make a decent profit, and then I hardly use merchant fulfilled. I use it for some things, very few. And I used to eBay a lot of the extra stuff. Like I'll auction off it in lots, which I still do, but I haven't really been using eBay that much for other things besides video games. I just haven't had great success with it. And then a question from Cherry. She said, "Do you put your clothing on a mannequin or just on the table/floor?"
Well, I just put it on my white foam board on my dining room table. My main picture is usually a folded picture of the item, and then I'll take a picture, close up of the tag, and then a picture of the shirt laying flat for the front, and then I'll flip it over and do something on the back. And then if there's anything I need to zoom in on, like a flaw or some cool like embroidery or something like that, I'll take pics of that too.
And George, you don't have a mannequin, do you?
Oh, it's covered in jackets right now.
Oh, you already did that one? When did you do that?
The mannequin?
No, what are you saying you already did that one?
Did what one?
Oh, the question.
Oh, and that.
I'm like, what are you talking about? You can just
It's
confuse
already-
the hell out of me.
already
I think we
posted.
just pasted it at the same time. I didn't see it. But yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
No, that was like 3 minutes ago. Anyways.
Whatever. Do
I'll
you
just
use a
give you
mannequin?
I was just giving you a hard time. Anyways, yes, I have a mannequin, and I do use it when I sell clothing.
You have a mannequin?
It's right
How have
here.
I never noticed that?
It's covered
I
in
have a
jackets.
mannequin. I have a female mannequin and a male mannequin, and don't listen to what I do when I sell clothes because I don't sell clothes.
I've never used the mannequin. It just seemed like it was too much work.
I used it for.
After using it a few times, I thought the same thing. And there's too many shadows, and I don't particularly care about it. I don't know.
I
I might just use it for coats or jackets or something. I don't know.
Doing it the way I do it, I can zip through so many photographs so quickly now.
Yeah, it is a lot more work. It is, but I actually use my mannequin more for focusing my camera until I figured out how to use autofocus 1 year later, and that's a different story. Question here: has anyone heard of Amazon offering first month free of a pro seller account? I mean, they have lots of offers. The thing about a pro seller account is, A, you don't need it really, and B, if you sell over 40 items a month, no matter what, if you sell over 40, it is cheaper to have a pro account. So just have that in mind. It's really that simple on Amazon. The fee structure is that simple. If you sell more than 40 items a month, it's cheaper to have a pro account every time. Question for Justin: where do you put all of your inventory?
I think we talked about that earlier, but after I list it, I put it in a clear poly bag, and then I put them in tubs, kind of like what George has behind him. I have shelving units in my garage. I have about 30 tubs out there, and then each tub's numbered, and I put that number in my eBay spreadsheet next to the item so I know where it is when it sells.
And the spreadsheet you used, did you talk about that at all?
Not in detail, no. I mean, I put the item number, the listing title, and then how much I paid for it. And then when it sells, I type in how much I sell it for, and I have formulas in there so it automatically calculates what the PayPal and eBay fee is, and then it shows me my total profit.
And did you create that yourself, or?
Yeah.
I figured. I was just curious. I'm always curious how people do their accounting, because my system's like very streamlined at this point, but a lot of people spend a lot of time typing things in Excel or like printing out things.
And then I put the tracking number there, and then at the end of the year for taxes, I have everything linked to that GoDaddy bookkeeping, so it is extremely easy for tax season.
I agree. It's really very useful.
I mean, I just go in there at the end of the year and I type in all my mileage. I don't keep track of it as I go. I know how many miles I drive for each thrift store, so at the end of the year I go through and type in. I can see all my sales for the year, and it'll say, you purchased something on this day, and I know exactly what thrift store it was, so I know how many miles I drove. So I type it in at the end of the year, print everything out, take it to my tax guy, and that's that.
Nice.
Nice and simple. Actually, I feel like a lot of people just overcomplicate taxes. They're really not that difficult to keep track of what you need to keep track of. I've done them myself for like quite a few years now, and I just have no issues with them. Yet people seem to think like it's super complicated once you're doing like an online business. It's really not that complicated.
Nah, I
So
haven't
this
had too many
question,
problems.
Joe Lister. Okay, I had to look up what that is. You guys know what that is?
Nope,
No.
never heard of it.
Me neither. Hopefully, it doesn't start playing a loud video. Okay. So basically, it's a service to list your FBA items to eBay, and then it will do, um, where it like fulfills your Amazon orders to your eBay customers. But what is that called when you do that? I can't think of that. What they call that. But anyways, I just look at the pricing and all that. And the question was, have you thought of using a program like Joe Lister to sell your FBA items on eBay at the same time as FBA? Oh, it's called multi-channel fulfillment. That's what it's called. I couldn't think of the name of it. I've looked into it before. The pricing structure on most of those programs are pretty expensive. And I just looked at Joe Lister. Even that pricing is pretty expensive. You're looking at adding, and this is if something sells, mind you. You're looking at adding between $1.50 per unit if you sell it, but also multi-channel fulfillment has another fee from Amazon. So you're adding a lot of fees onto something, and typically items don't sell at as high of a price as they would on FBA through eBay. They just don't. So I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know how good of a program Joe Lister is. I never vouch anything I haven't used, so I'm not going to vouch for it and say it's good, but I'm also not going to talk bad about it because it could be great. With that being said, after adding all those extra fees on, plus you have eBay fees, and then you have Amazon fees, I would think it's very hard to make a decent profit on a product through doing that. And George, have you ever done multi-channel fulfillment? Do you know what that is?
No,
Oh, okay.
I know
did
what
it.
it is.
I did it one time, and I actually lost money on it because I didn't know about the fees.
Hmm.
Resale Ronan had the guy from Joe Lister on the show last week. Oh, okay. That's what he was from. I caught the very end of the show, but I did see the guy. I didn't know he was from the program. I mean, that's cool. I feel like their pricing's pretty steep. Like, the main issue is all these programs that want to help you list and sell and all this stuff, they all have a huge fee structure. So if you sign up for all of them, they're all supposed to help you sell. They don't really offset their cost well. It's just not done well. If someone actually took the time to come out with a program that did all this stuff for a fair fee, I guarantee they would do really well, because when I was looking at multi-channel listing, like something that would list your eBay on Etsy and like through Amazon if you want, you're looking at a lot of money in fees, like a ton of money. It's not cheap. You would need thousands of listings to offset that cost and really do well. Plus, they're not that streamlined. So I've just found adding more programs in just makes things more complicated than they need to be. Justin, do you use any tools on eBay at all? Do you list with like maybe Turbo List or any of that stuff?
No, I mean the only thing I would sometimes do is if I run auctions, I like to have them in late at night, but I don't want to list them then, or I don't want to focus on the listings then. So I'll create the listings and then save them through on eBay later, and then I'll just go like at 10 p.m. before I go to bed. I'll just go in and hit list, and it'll put them all up. But other than that, I do it item by item.
Cool. I don't tend to use apps. I've tried all the apps on eBay. I mean, Selling Manager is the one that I use a lot for invoices. But besides that, it's like Turbo Lister didn't seem to make a huge difference to me. I've used a bunch of multi-channel listing programs. They're all very complicated and expensive. And I used to use InkFrog until they completely screwed up my account, and their customer service was just horrid. But I don't know. For me, it just seems like all the programs are just out to cash in on your account. It doesn't seem like they're really trying to solve an issue. Dakota, if you have a question, make sure you put question in the front. He says, has anyone had to take the tax interview on Amazon? Yes, you're required to take the tax interview if you start making over a certain amount, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if they changed it, and you might have to take it every time now. It's just asking for your basic financial information so they can send you the forms you need at the end of the year if you do over 20,000 and more than 200 sales. Okay.
Cool.
Cool. Whoa. You just turned in like a white girl. All right. So, anything else exciting happening, fellas?
No.
Nothing?
Not a.
I hear you. Any goals this month? Anything you guys are planning? George, you going source anytime soon?
Yeah, man. Usually I'm always sourcing. But I know I was talking to you earlier this week about trying to find some sort of niche for Amazon so that I can consistently source one type of product.
Yeah.
Something that I can source online and then resell on Amazon. That way I'm not just sending in a bunch of random stuff, right? Because it's just kind of, I don't know, annoying, I guess.
Time consuming?
Yeah, it is. It's time consuming because it's predominantly used products that I've been sending in, which this will still be used products, but at least it'll be like the same product or similar product, and I can send in more than one at a time and make a consistent income off of it. So I've been looking into that, and once I get this shipment out, I'm gonna start doing that. But the products that I'm going to be sourcing, uh, they're a little bit more expensive than what I'm used to buying. So it'll be new, and I'll probably start off kind of slow at it until I get a nice little bankroll going, so that I can do it consistently or on a larger scale. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be working on with Amazon here in the near future. I just need to get more organized for Amazon, I think, in my opinion. So that's what I've been working on.
That's cool. And I know, like, this becomes an issue with a lot of people. Although, like, you haven't really, no offense to you, but you haven't really sent in a ton of units to Amazon. But after they start sending in a lot, they could only keep up so fast. Now I've even run into that issue sourcing games. And then they start looking how to scale up, right? And, like, the natural curve of things is, like, you sell random stuff, then you get into one good niche, then you find good, consistent suppliers for that, and then that's why a lot of people take the next step and move to private label, because it's like the most consistent type of sourcing. And I think that's a big issue with like scaling up on Amazon is things sell so quickly. If you're doing one-off items, it becomes really difficult to keep up, and it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. So I think finding a good niche that you can supply consistently is important, but also finding good suppliers is not an easy task. So, and we have a bunch of questions here. I'll just start reading them off so we don't get behind. Do you guys have reseller permits, or do you pay sales tax on all of your inventory purchases?
It's not really a permit per se here in Texas. It's really just a tax exempt kind of thing. So, I mean, yes, I have a business, I have an EIN, and typically all I have to do is give a company my EIN before I buy, like say a wholesaler or Goodwill even. They took my EIN, and I just don't pay sales taxes, and I charge sales taxes whenever I sell things to anybody in my state. So that's how that kind of works. It's not really a permit, really just.
It should be a tax exempt certificate, basically.
Yeah, right.
Justin, are you tax exempt?
No, I haven't ever done anything like that. I just charge sales tax for anything sold within my state, and then deal with that at the end of the year.
Gotcha. Well, if you're charging, you can fill out to be exempt when you go thrifting.
Oh.
And so then you don't pay sales tax, and return you collect it.
Yeah.
There's a question for you, Justin. What is your most successful footwear that you sell? I know you haven't been in footwear too long, but have you had any sales for footwear?
Yeah, I mean, I just started focusing on shoes more, just trying to get more money. So I don't have a lot of experience there yet, but the main shoe that I have the most success with so far is anything made by Keen, which George knows all about that. Anytime I find a Keen sandal or shoe, or same thing with Merrill, those sell so quickly. So,
Hmm.
Nice.
and obviously the brands like Ferragamo, Kolhan, stuff like that, Allen Edmonds, I try to find, but those don't always sell quickly. But Keen, they seem to sell so fast.
Yeah, and it definitely helps that it's summertime right now,
Right.
and people are looking for sandals. And those are going to be good quality sandals for people to buy, and whenever you can get them used in good condition, they're happy to do it. So, yeah, I mean, whenever you find like men's Keens, those are probably going to be your most net profit. But even like toddlers
Yeah.
and kids, women's Keens, they all sell really fast. They're not always the best profit, but they're a quick turnaround,
Yep.
and that's always great.
Um, toddler shoes sell? Like name brand?
Keen for sure does. I mean, I don't really focus on kid shoes, but Keen, I've picked up a few kid sizes, and they sell usually for $20 to $30.
Who the hell
Yeah,
buys their kids designer shoes?
These aren't really designer. It's just a
Just
good,
sandals.
just a
Name
good
brand.
brand.
But they are like retail. They're $50.
Someone asked
for
where
kids.
in Texas you live, George. Is it Austin?
Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas.
That's what I thought. Question from Mr. Cortez. Why can't I find the listing for the PlayStation 2 Slim that is one half shiny and one half dull? Can you list it under SCPH 90001? No, you probably can't. And I've never ever seen a half shiny, half dull PlayStation, so I have a feeling it's either customized or very rare. I've never seen one. So send me photos on Facebook and I'll let you know. Pretty sure it's customized, but I could be wrong. Question, what do you guys recommend to remove permanent ink on merchandise? Well, if it's permanent, how are you going to remove it? No,
I would say a magic eraser. They do really well, depending on what material that it's on. If it's like on plastic, it'll come off with like some nail polish remover too. So it depends on what it's on. What do you got it stuck to?
well, I'll tell you one thing. I know this from the kitchen because we always had whiteboards in the kitchen, large ones, and some jackass in the kitchen would always forget to use the dry erase marker and write in permanent marker, and then it'd be stuck on the board. Well, over years, I've learned that permanent marker is something that comes off very easily with oil-based products. So if it's on a plastic or something, you can use oil. Any type of oil-based substance helps. Like, what is that? Orange. There's like some kind of orange scrub that's very oily, and that really works well. Or Goo Gone works fine. Magic Eraser is great, but if you use it too much, you can definitely wear down whatever you're scrubbing because melamine sponges are very porous and they're like sandpaper. That's why they take the paint off your wall plus the marker. And also, thanks to everyone that was hanging out. We are over 50 viewers, so we appreciate it, especially late at night. Justin's sleep schedule appreciates all the support.
There you go.
And Justin, how long? Yeah, I guess I'll ask you some questions about the group because I've actually never even spoke to you. So, I mean, not like one-on-one or anything. How long have you been with Sellers Helping Sellers, and how long have you known Autumn now?
Well, since I started 2.5 years ago doing clothing is when I first joined her group, but I mean, actually talking to her probably 2 years maybe. I mean, we chat almost daily.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, through like private messages on Facebook and stuff like that. And I became an admin of her group when I first joined pretty quickly after I really got going. And then I've been with her a few times since the group has come and gone into different admins and people because it keeps shutting down and restarting under different ownership. So
Yeah, all the nonsense and drama that doesn't need to be over a Facebook group.
Yep.
Yeah, I've actually never met Autumn either. She seems real nice, but I've never actually had a chance to talk to her. And She seems
Yeah.
like she's been very busy lately because I haven't seen her post much or anything. I was just telling George I hope everything's all right because I haven't.
Oh yeah, everything's fine. She's been focusing on some other avenues of money, just different ventures that she's focusing on right now.
And the other thing is, like, as much as I like to be active, I'm just not that active. Like, I try to make sure I can moderate the group some, and I'll delete spam posts and stuff. But I don't have time to go through everything and talk to everyone constantly. There's very few people I talk to on a daily basis. I talk to George, and it's usually pretty brief because it's on my phone. And Chad messages me every day for a little bit, and that's about it. I don't really have time to keep up with everyone, and it's just because mainly I focus on the YouTube channel, so I respond to every comment, all the messages and stuff, and it just takes a lot of time. But I appreciate all the support, guys, and just come to hang out, and the fact that we can even get a crowd on a Sunday night is awesome, because I know everyone goes to bed early on Sundays.
Not me.
You never go to bed early. Neither do I. We're like the only. We could do a show at like 4 a.m. We'll be the only people awake. 3 a.m.
Yep.
or some shit. Yeah, someone said they did damage a box with the magic eraser. Yeah, it's basically like, so if you don't want to pay for name brand magic erasers, you can just search melamine sponges. I talked about this before. You can find them really cheap. Basically, melamine is a very, very porous substance. They actually used to use a different version of it to make fire-resistant stuff because all the little porous air bubbles will, like, I don't know how it works exactly, but like suffocates flames and helps block the heat going through. Anyways, all those little porous spots when you're scrubbing they're basically like sandpaper. So the reason Magic Eraser removes everything is not because it has some magic soap on it or some shit. It's because it's actually removing that layer of stuff. So if you over scrub something, you can literally remove the paint or whatever's on it.
Literally.
Literally. Like for reals.
Yeah. I use them a lot to clean up like the midsole of a shoe. Like if you have like a white shoe and they're kind of dirty or something, it's not coming off with just like regular soap and water or anything. I'll usually take Magic Eraser to it, and it gets it pretty white pretty quick without, with just minimal effort. So I love them. I think they look great.
And rubber's a lot more resilient too than a lot of things. So
Yeah.
like I've used it on a game system that actually sanded the top layer off. You don't want to do that. Question said, Michael, could I get anything for TurboGrafx 16 console and 9 games? Well, I mean, of course you can get something. TurboGrafx, I don't know what kind of condition it's in. You didn't tell me if you have cables or controllers. But in general, you could probably get upwards of $100 for that console. Pretty rare. As far as the games, I have no idea. I would have to get a list from you. And do not post eBay number links in the chat. Don't do it. I damaged a calculator trying to get Sharpie off with a magic eraser. See, everyone's breaking shit with the magic eraser. I just know one time it was like my aunt tried to get crayon off her wall and she took all the paint off, and I was like, yep. Don't want to use that for that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we're going to take last questions. Any topics you guys want to cover or anything you want to say? No? The two quiet people?
I don't got anything.
No, I'm here to answer questions.
There you go. Ask Justin questions. Go. Just spam him with questions. How
Hey,
old
Justin.
are you? What blood type do you have? What color are your eyes?
When are you going to make a video telling us how to fold those shirts the way you do?
That's on my list when I can find the time.
What's up, Derek?
I know how to do it. I was just
I know.
I looked it up a while back whenever I was looking. I was like, that's really easy.
Yeah. Everyone thinks I use like one of those folding boards.
Yeah.
Oh, the Big Bang from the Big Bang Show.
Right.
Yeah.
Chad just found one of those. I was cracking up, but Sheldon always used them in the show, and I don't know why. Just the way he used it always made me laugh.
I've seen them use them in like retail stores, so that's probably where you see them most.
Right.
I've never seen one in person. Hammer said, Mike, have you tried eBay promoted listings? No, and I don't plan to. I'm not going to pay to promote my listings on eBay because you should be able to sell without promoting. If I can't sell something without promoting, I'm definitely not going to pay to promote it. um, have you guys tried those listings at all?
No,
No,
no, I haven't.
no, I've never done that.
It was something they kind of newly introduced. It was supposed to be kind of like Amazon product ads. You can promote your listings to be at the top or whatever. I don't really know how it works. Question: why am I so awesome? Well, you're not. You're just a narcissist.
Womp womp womp.
Justin, what is the most profitable for clothes, men's, women's, children's shirts, or pants? Are you asking what the most profitable brands are, or what's the most profit he made?
I mean, I only do men's clothing, so that's all I can really speak to. But my best items that I get are, I mean, anything high end is obviously what I look for. But then I have like the bread and butter items that I know will flip pretty for a decent amount of money, and they're usually pretty cheap to get, like FootJoy or Under Armour or like those kind of polos. Or I'd like to find Robert Graham or Canali or Zenga shirts and stuff like that. But I mean, I think we've posted brand lists in our group before.
Yeah, and if you guys want to join the group that all of us are admins in there, is Sellers Helping Sellers. Is it called eBay and Amazon now?
Yep. Sellers helping sellers on eBay and Amazon.
Yeah, and I'll put it down in the description. George's channel will be down there. Justin's will be down there. I'll add it, and you can go subscribe to those guys. I know George is getting close to 1,000 subs, so.
I think I just crossed 700. Yeah, I'm at 713. I said that group backwards. It's Sellers Helping Sellers on Amazon and eBay.
Yeah. If you search it, you'll see it right away. Question for Justin. It's kind of similar to what he just asked, but I guess maybe like answer it with your actual personal preference over like profit. I guess. What is your like favorite clothing to sell or deal with or actually have? Is it just what makes you the most money, or are there
Yeah, I
things?
mean, yeah, obviously, but I mean, you mean like what kind of clothing, or like shirts, pants, whatever, or brands? I don't know, but I mean, I mainly do shirts. I do sell pants and men's and women's shoes, but most of my money is like men's button-up shirts, dress and casual shirts, and so.
Yeah, and you find a lot of new with tags items. I know.
Yeah, it's
Like you
crazy.
post a lot of new tags items.
Yeah, and
You
it's
must
all
be in a
from,
really great location. And
it's all
that's
from
awesome.
Salvation Army. I don't find that kind of stuff in my Goodwills, but I have 4 Salvation Armies I hit weekly, and it amazes me the crap I find there.
Where do you
awesome.
live, Justin? I feel like you told me. I just don't remember.
Canton, Michigan. It's right outside Detroit.
Oh yeah, Michigan. That's right.
And that's the other thing. A lot of people complain about competition. I've never seen another reseller.
And yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I feel like Michigan's not very overpopulated at all. So,
Yeah, I have no competition.
John asked, "Do you think I am missing?" So you can go ahead 1 second, George. Sorry. Do you think I'm missing out on not doing FBA with my games? I get at least 50 per month. It really depends on the games, John. I think if you have the opportunity to do FBA and you're passing on it, it's not the best move on your part because FBA is just very consistent passive income. It definitely is very, very nice if you have things to do, if you're busy. If you learn how to streamline it, it's good to go. Go ahead, George. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Dakota wants to know your wholesale source. He says, "Question, Michael, do you buy wholesale online, and if you do, what site?"
Oh, come on. Give me a break here. Well, I stopped buying wholesale a while ago. The only wholesale source that I'll give you is Jinx. You can go over there. They're a great site. They have great products, but their margins are slim, so best of luck unless you own a brick-and-mortar store now. Microsoft bought Minecraft, and when they did that, they made Jinx's prices go up because I think they raised the minimum for them, and so in return, Jinx had to raise their prices, so it really got tight. Aside from that, I'm not gonna like just share all my sources. Sorry, I share a ton of information for free. That's not gonna be one of them.
Right.
Derek, question: how long does it normally take for Amazon to reimburse me for a product when the warehouse damaged it? Do I need to do anything? No, you don't need to do anything unless they don't reimburse you after a good amount of time. Typically, it takes up to 30 days. So after a month, if you haven't noticed a reimbursement, just contact seller support. They'll take care of you. And then people are debating women's clothes are better, men's clothes are better. I feel like women's clothes they probably are better because a lot of women shop online over men, I would say. Even for men's clothes, a lot of women are doing the buying. But women's clothes, I feel like, are really complicated to learn, right? Like, maybe I'm wrong.
I've
There's a
never
lot of
tried.
different styles, I think, and materials, and
I'm willing to bet you get more returns with women's clothing too.
And
I've
that all
already
could be true.
gotten
I don't know.
I've already gotten more returns with women's shoes than I've ever had with clothing. All
Yeah.
because they don't fit. But I don't know. Men never seem to return clothing.
Mike uses Alibaba. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't use Alibaba ever. Matter of fact, I haven't bought something off Alibaba in like since no one knew about it. I bought DS styluses from China like a long time ago to replace some that I had. I don't know that it would be dumb to share my sources. It's just like, A, I don't have any top secret information to share with you. Sorry. It's pretty straightforward. I do a lot of sniping on eBay and just searching for specific lots. And the few places I do use, they're local to me, and I'm not going to share them because I'm not going to have someone local just start like, buying everything that I buy. Cherry said, if you want to learn women's modern or vintage, all you have to do is look at sold and completed. I mean, I hear that advice a lot. It's just like look at sold and completed and look up the brands and stuff. I feel like that's good, decent advice, but even for me, I don't know. If I look up that list, I won't remember it, so I'll have to like write it down and then go to the thrift store and like match up each brand. Like Justin was saying when he first started, it was real slow.
Well, that's the thing though. You can search to complete it until you're passing out of your computer, but the chance you're going to find some of those brands are slim to none. You have to go to your thrift stores and see what they carry, and just look up all the brands that you don't know. Don't focus on the Abercrombie or American Eagle or all that crap. Just any brand that sticks out that you've never heard of, look it up. If it sells, pick it up. But you
Yeah.
can look up the high-end brands, but you're likely not going to ever find them.
And the fact that like, by the way, if you guys post the money symbol in front of numbers, it automatically blacklists. So stop doing it. I can't. I can change it, but I'm not gonna do it right this second. I don't know why YouTube's chat is so random. No, I lost my train of thought because I was thinking of that. That's the thing is like everyone has cell phones and the internet anywhere, so basically you should never really lose money on stuff unless you're rushing. Like if you take your time, you should be good. You can look up basically anything at any time, and if you can't, have a friend that's willing to help you out. Because there's one time I couldn't look stuff up. My internet wouldn't work for eBay, but I messaged George and he looked it up for me, and that's how I got that leather jacket and all that. How many items do each of us have at Amazon? I currently have 500, and I'm sending over 300 in. I think George has like 100 and something.
I'll check real quick.
And then there's another question for you, George. Do you ever go to estate sales?
Very rarely. I don't really go to estate sales or garage sales unless I just happen to be passing them and I don't, I have plenty of time. I don't really hit them up though. No.
Justin, do you ever hit estate sales?
From very rarely, if I'm driving by and I see one, but I've never found anything worthwhile in the few that I've been to. I get everything. 99% of the stuff I get comes from Salvation Army, and then like 1% from Goodwill.
Mike, will you do a webinar on what games to buy and snipe and charge $200? Not likely. I don't think it's likely I'll ever do a webinar. I would rather do one-on-one tailored stuff or like almost like a pre-recorded lesson over doing that, but I would never charge you hundreds of dollars unless I was selling you like a streamlined product that does it for you or something. I
I
probably won't
have
charge you for much of anything, so you gotta worry about it.
I have a grand total of 129 items.
There you go.
I have 0.
Yeah, Cherry, you're right. There's no way in chat to explain how to sell women's clothing. There's not enough characters. What's up, Sadie? How you doing, bud? And I missed another one. Hammer said Mike bashes people who do private label. I hardly ever bash anyone, so I don't think that's true.
He might not be talking about you.
Oh, that's true. It's hard when you guys refer as Mike, but also understand that what people consider bashing is not bashing. If I say I don't like that people do private label because they're selling shit quality products and they know it, that's the truth, guys. What is private label? Private label is buying, for 95% of people, it's buying cheap shit-made plastic Chinese parts and reselling it for a premium price like it's a good product. But they know damn well it's not a good product. I'm not okay with that. That's like, if you're going to do a private label product, at least do something that you stand behind. That's all I care about. I don't care that you do private label. I think it's awesome. You can create your own brand, but at least sell something you stand behind. Or something that has a good purpose, you know? It's like the same old shit is what people are selling, basically. And it's a giant race to the bottom anymore. My secret source is an old guy down the road that has a gigantic outbuilding full of stuff. He's an old school picker and doesn't really do it to sell as much as hunt and collect. Well, that's cool. I wish I knew like old school pickers near me just so I could go hang out and see some of the cool stuff they had. My grandfather used to be like that, but he's just too unhealthy to go do it anymore. All right, well, we're going to be wrapping up here, so final questions now. It's been an hour. And Mike is tired. Oh.
Did you get anything interesting this week, Mike?
I mean, I got a ton of stuff, but I felt like I showed it all on Wednesday. I didn't want to, like, double show everything to people.
Cool.
I just
Justin,
have, like...
did you pick up any cool or high-end items?
I mean, I found some Zenga blazers and some Canali blazers, and let's see, what else did I find? Some cashmere coats.
Cool. I think that one was in the video, right? Or they probably all were.
Yeah, everything
I
saw.
just remember that cashmere coat you had said you found. You said you didn't even know the brand, but you picked it up the kit was all cashmere.
Yeah. I haven't.
Well, that's cool.
I haven't gotten that listed yet.
Man, finally someone said the truth about private label China bullshit. See, the thing is, I'm not even against Chinese-made products. It's going to happen no matter what. Private label is going to happen no matter what. But it's the people that are selling just like, they know what they're selling is shit. They're paying 40 cents a unit for it. Like, obviously it's not good. It's broken. Like, all right, what's a perfect example is go on Amazon and search Super Nintendo controller, right? They're selling these Chinese-made Super Nintendo controllers they buy for like 50 cents a piece. They know half of them don't work. They still send them to FBA and they get like, 50% feedback rating, and the ratings on the listing are under 2 stars. Like, you know damn well it's garbage, so why would you send that in? You know there's going to be people who get controllers that don't work, so what are you sending it in for? Mike, do you find that you sell better on eBay or Amazon overall? Well, I have no listings on eBay at the moment, so I would say Amazon. My eBay has not been doing well. I've already said that. I'm willing to admit that. It's something I'm working on. You know, at the end of the day, worst comes to worst, I'll just start periscoping George, and he can tell me what shoes to buy. George, I'll give you half of my profit to tell me what shoes to buy.
Can you still see Justin there?
Can I see him? Yeah, I can see him. Why?
Okay. My preview pane in the bottom has been stuck on the same image of me for a while, so I was just hoping people could see me when I'm talking.
Oh, I see your preview, but then when you talk, yeah, it goes black.
I don't know what's going on there, but at least you can hear me.
That's all right.
Yeah, we're wrapping up. I don't see any major questions here. Are blazers? Do you sell blazers at all?
Yeah. They are typically a slow sell, but they do sell. I mean, I've never had one that sells extremely fast, I mean, I guess if you priced it really low, it would, but I try to get top dollar, and then I lower it as I go. But they typically take a while to sell, at least for me.
Gotcha. I've only had a couple blazers. I've sold one only, I think. But I don't. When I went thrifting, I try to get into too many fields. I just need to like stay to specializing at a few things, video games, and I'll figure out what else I'm gonna sell. But thanks for watching, everyone. We had over 50 people basically the whole show, so that's really awesome. And Justin, thanks for hanging out with us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Hopefully, we could do it in the future, maybe on a not so late show over on George's channel or something.
Nah, I'll stay up late for you.
I don't want. Yeah, you say that till tomorrow when you're like ready to murder the kids and you don't want to thrift. You're like, this sucks.
Nah, I'll be all right.
I'm not the kind of guy that can run with no sleep. But as always, thanks everyone for hanging out. We appreciate it very, very much. George's channel and Justin's channel are down in the description. If you have any questions for these guys, come join the Sellers Helping Sellers group. All of us are there. You can ask anytime, tag us. We'll get to you when we can. If you want to support the channel, there's an Amazon affiliate link down below. Subscribe if you haven't. We're almost at 10K, so that's awesome. And you can join us every Sunday at 11 p.m. EST, where you get to see me be tired and yell at George. And George,
Yeah,
you didn't burp today.
I don't think so.
Yeah. He's like, "Hey, the pitchforks will come out." All right, but have a great night, everyone. Again, thanks for joining us, Justin.
Thanks for having me.